All right, everybody, welcome to the Killer Reviews YouTube show, episode number 2.
Woo!
Cue the balloons. So, on this episode, we're doing a special edition. We're talking about the film Midsommar by Ari fucking Aster. Ari Aster. So,
it's a great time to do that show too, Midsommar, because we're in the midsummer.
Oh shit!
It's perfect. I mean, it's a lot better than our other idea, which was National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I mean, that's not the best midsummer movie.
But
I'm not sure I could watch that. I mean, I have a hard time watching that like ever again. It's a great movie. So, guys, how are things? We have Luke, we have Jordan over here. I'm Greg, and Luke was saying he had a long day.
Oh my god, dude, the office sucks. Anyone who works in a cubicle, do you guys work in cubicles?
I was there.
No.
I was there before.
Just oh my god, it is soul sucking. It's just everybody in their bullshit and red tape, and I'm not gonna get into it, but
is it like Is it like Office Space?
Yes, yes, it is.
It's a lot like that.
Except, thankfully, printers work for the most part.
PC load letter.
I work with like 2 Miltons. I swear to God, but that's beside the point. Oh man.
I don't miss Cubicle World. When I was working in Cubicle Land, I knew I was leaving a year before I left. I had the date. So I had to sit there, and like every day was twice as long because I knew I was leaving. I was like checking the calendar every day, and man, it's rough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a whole culture there,
Mm-hmm. Everybody is just in everyone's business 24/7, and you know how it is.
Yeah, very gossipy, huh?
Mm-hmm. Like so, like you think everything's nice, right, at work, but then you duck into an office, and it's just, I'm not going to do this for so and so because they said this about so and so.
Oh yeah.
On and on and on, and it's oh my god.
I'm a factory worker, and it's the exact same way with the gossip, and backstabbing, and doing the bare minimum, trying to make yourself look good and other people look bad and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad.
Greg is the smart one because he is working.
I got super lucky. I've working from home for like 12 or 10, 11 years. Yeah, it's just I got so freaking lucky, man. And I left Cubicle Land to do my own website design business, but if I didn't have cards fall a certain way with certain clients, like I would have been dead in the water like 6 months in,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all about luck.
I'm super lucky to be able to do that.
But I heard you were indulging, Greg. What are you drinking, quick?
I'm drinking rum and fucking cream soda, believe it or not.
Ooh.
I want to change it up. Yeah, spiced rum. And I also have a cup of water somewhere.
Nice.
Yeah.
You, Jordan?
I've been drinking Pepsi all day. We're having a gaming day over in my house.
Oh, shit.
I usually drink a lot of caffeinated beverages. So I was drinking Red Bull, and now I'm drinking Pepsi. And we're having a lot better time than you are, Luke.
Well, you got to get some Jaeger in there, and then it'll be even better time.
That shit's nasty.
All right, guys. So let's jump into our featured review talk, which I'm super excited about. Okay, so this film came out. So we're recording July 8th. It came out last Wednesday, right? Whatever date that is, do the math. And I saw this on Saturday. I was super psyched going in. I think we all liked Hereditary. Can we say that? The director.
Oh yeah, loved it.
Okay, so I was so lucky that I didn't know this was coming out until like 2 weeks before it was coming out. I didn't know it was a trailer out. I had no idea. So I had the pleasure of finding out and then not waiting very long. So I thought it might be a good idea to pick 3 words to describe your feelings about the movie. So I'll go first, and then we can talk about that one word. The first one that came to my mind, I came up with these words super fast. The first one was unsettling. Okay. Oh shit, dude, Luke, can you tell us what the movie's about?
Okay,
Just for
okay.
like the 10% of people who are here that don't know what it's about.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Here, let me pull it up quick. All right, Midsommar. Oh, there's Pennywise. Okay, Midsommar. Okay, just to clarify, we did determine as a group, guys, it is Midsummer. So ignore what I just said. So Midsummer 2019, directed by Ari Aster. A couple travels to Sweden to visit a rural hometown's fabled midsummer festival. What begins as an idyllic retreat quickly devolves into an increasingly violent and bizarre competition at the hands of a pagan cult. Ooh. So
Cool.
Yeah, that was it, huh?
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah, cool. All right, so I chose the word unsettling. This is a 2 hour and 20-minute movie, and okay. Let me try to stick to the points best I can because I want to go nuts and talk for like a half an hour. Unsettling. For me, when I was watching this movie, I really was like on the fence a lot about these scenes that played with me.
mm-hmm.
And I was uncomfortable, like I guess as much as they were, the group of people that came from the United States going to Sweden. You know, we're kind of going in with them. We know as much as they do, except the one friend who was leading them there.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like a lot of the scenes, you know, the director Ari clearly kind of knows what to do, so we think a certain way. So unsettling to me, it was just like I never fucking knew what was up. Like I was just always like, oh my god, like what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
So that was my number one.
Well, it's like an onion. It's gradually peeling throughout the movie, and we're getting more and more information as the movie goes along, and it is unsettling because I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I was like, oh, what's going to go on? I mean, when's the first kill going to be? Because you know people are going to die. I mean, outside the opening scenes. And how are they going to die? Because this guy is really creative with his deaths. And pretty much every single death was unsettling to me. I mean, I was cringing. And yeah, I was feeling the butterflies just like the people in the movie were.
We should say, are we going to talk spoilers right off the bat?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta. Yeah.
So spoiler alert, guys. Like they probably
in the headline of the video and stuff.
Okay. Just don't listen to this unless you haven't seen it, guys. But yeah, I agree with you, Butch, with the unsettling. And something I'll touch on a little later is for me, a lot of scenes I thought were going to go one way, and then it completely did not do what I expected. So like that was very unsettling with the mood shifts for me. So I get what you're saying there.
All right, Luke, give me a word you got.
So just right off the top word that comes to me was just beautiful. And I mean, this movie, Hereditary, was really confined, right, to a lot of a lot of house shots inside spaces, and you can tell with Midsommar, they gave the director like a bigger budget. Like, obviously, the whole movie basically takes place on this gorgeous, wide open field, and like they just have so many like awesome shots of like the scenery and at the end with the fire and all that kind of stuff. Just an amazing looking film. In my opinion. And I think that really added, especially because, as we find out, all of our characters are kind of drugged out of their mind for most of the movie. So I just thought it was a gorgeous, beautiful movie. So that's the first word that sprung for me.
So I'm going to cross beautiful off my list of words. I loved it was in daylight. All of the fucking colors, the artwork, the flowers, the beautiful people. It was like if you said what's spring or something, like what's spring, and put it like that picture of that town and that village next to the water, or beautiful, it was just a gorgeous movie.
Yeah, I agree. Even with the opening before they go to Sweden, like just the snow outside, and when they were walking outside, like the cityscape in the back, and it was all blue. I thought that was absolutely gorgeous as well, and just the color palette that he does, and yeah, the daytime really worked well for like all the fields and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, Killer Clown.
Well, that kind of leads into my first one, which is my first word is Kubrick, as in Stanley Kubrick. And a lot of that has to do with the look of the film and a lot of the cinematography, like especially in the beginning, a lot of slow camera movements, everything's slow paced and long, and just the pacing, it felt a lot like The Shining or something that Kubrick would do. Like everything, it doesn't feel slow, but it's perfectly paced, and it's slow, but it doesn't feel like it's slow.
To add on to that, something that surprised me, Greg, is when you said it was 2 hours and 20 minutes. Because in the theater, I would have sworn to you it was like 90 minutes. But it felt slow at the same time. So I totally get what you're saying there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree. I mean, like the opening shots of them, well, I think it's the opening, but maybe 20 minutes in when they're driving through the woods and it has the shots. It's a Shining. It's way, way over them, following them to the tree. And then there's shots of, like it's slowly going upside down. And I absolutely loved the camera work. And I noticed that right away, the Kubrick, just those, too, on the camera work, I'll jump on that too. Like all of the wide shots and the lack of like cuts and shit. It's just like, okay, I'm just gonna put a camera and you guys can just go for like 5 to 10 minutes. I love that. Like there's like so few fast cuts. Like when they're talking, it's not just like me, you on the close up to the face, over the shoulder. It's just boom, and just shows it to people talking for a few minutes. I loved that. So yeah, I agree, man. That's a really good point. Back to me, maybe. I only have one left, and that's original. I freaking love movies. I get so frustrated with formulas in movies, and I guess on some level you watch like Die Hard 5 or Fast and Furious 7 and you're like, okay, I mean that's okay, we're gonna go on this ride. And for me it's just kind of like I accept it or not. But for films that I absolutely love that like really hit home for me, like Prisoners is one, just movies that like, or like Sicario, just movies that kind of like stick out to me, have a much higher level of artistic expression. And this movie, that hit home to me a lot. I just feel like if you're gonna make a movie, unless you get paid tons of fucking money or whatever, like if you're gonna make a movie, you're a writer director, you have creative control. For the love of God, like make something that matters and means something. And this dude just runs with that. Ari he just fucking run. He does his thing, man. And I'm all on board. I strap into the roller coaster and I just go and watch what he does, and I just think it's fucking amazing. So super original. I love that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think there's very few. I mean, he kind of reminds me of Ty West a little bit, like House of the Devil type stuff. But I mean, he's definitely like one of a kind. Like you don't see like very Kubrickian, and you don't see that type of filmmaking right now. I mean, you compare it to like stuff like like The Nun and all that kind of crap. But like it's just it's very, very original, especially in today's day and age, I think.
Yeah, original was my second point as well. Especially considering the last movie he did, I thought it was original compared to that one too, because that one was very, very scary. It had quality jump scares. It didn't have the cheap jump scares. And this one didn't really have any jump scares. But it was still like the whole movie was, like you said, it was unsettling. And besides little hints of like The Sacrament and Wicker Man and stuff like that, this was very much of Ari Aster's mind. It was just like the gruesomeness of the deaths were very original. And it was like, it was just very original. I agree with both of you on that one.
I think we all liked it.
Hated it.
I'm out. So whoever wants to go.
All right. Well, let me rain on that parade for a second, because my one of my other words was scattered. And
dude, if you talk negative, man, you're off the fucking show, man.
I fucking hated it. No, I'm just kidding. But all right, I gotta say though, so Hereditary. Let me go back to Hereditary for a second. What I love about Hereditary is, upon a rewatch of that movie, every single piece, right, is so nothing is not important in that film, right? When you go back and watch it from the start, like, every single thing is put in motion by the cult, right, to doom this family and get where it gets at the end, right? And it feels like so well crafted. And with this movie, uh, and this ties into my first point of beautiful, I think the director got a bigger budget. I think he was able to do a lot more shots he wanted to. But I also feel like the story suffered just a little bit. And so what I mean is, so at the very end of the movie, right, when they finally come out and just say, like, thank you, the you and you, for bringing these outside sacrifices, right, that we could kill them. So they're saying, like, okay, you brought these Americans here and the two London people here just to die, right? But in the movie, they only killed the cultists only killed the people, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jordan, but they only kill them when they, like, disrespect the cult, right? Like the London people, like, basically tell them your stuff's fucked up. The guy pisses on the tree, and the black guy goes snooping, and they all get killed for that. So, like,
I actually kind of agree with you on that, because I originally thought those people were brought there to mate with the cultists, and they were killed because they disrespected them. But like you said, they were supposed to be killed anyway. So
like, it's like you kind of want to have your cake and eat it too, right? Like, if the black guy was totally respectful and didn't go snooping, would they still have killed him? Like, I guess we're supposed to assume they would have. But what the movie tells us is they killed him because, he went off and was snooping around at night, right? So, like, it kind of felt a little scattered in the story department for me with that. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, you want to feel like the second they walk in there, they are, like, dead meat, like the cult has everything planned. But it really kind of felt to me like the cultists are like, oh, I guess they screwed up. It's time to kill them now, right?
Yeah, dude. I know what you're saying. I didn't actually think of that before, but that makes sense now you're talking about it. But I think if they did it that way, almost like a Jason Voorhees, like some dude's taking a piss and he gets his head cut off or something, like, then you'd lose that balance of not being sure if they were really dead or not.
Yeah.
So, like the first guy that goes away, he supposedly, like, is driven to the train station, but there's not enough room for his girlfriend to go. But then she goes. So you kind of back your mind going, oh, they're dead. But for me, there's like a 20% chance, like, I mean, maybe we're getting fucked with it. Maybe they did go to the train station. So I think that he does that, or to kind of, like, play with us and not sure, like, like the guy who could piss with missing. Me, I'm like, maybe I'm still just saying, maybe the fourth missing guy is out fucking in the woods for 2 days fucking that girl.
No, I was the same way, Greg, and this kind of ties into more of a criticism. So the trailer made no, like, qualms about this being, like, like, kind of like the Wicker Man, like, outsiders come to this cult and it looks like they're gonna get killed off, right? But the whole movie, I was thinking, it can't be that obvious, right? So, like, when the black guy got clubbed, I was like, oh my god, one of these cultists is a psycho, and, like, all the other cult people are nice, but, like, one of them's gone nuts, and, like, this is, like, not how it was supposed to go. But ultimately in the end, it turned out no, everyone was in on it, and so what I'm saying is, the movie just felt a little scattered in the plot, as compared to, like, Hereditary, where everything felt so well planned out.
Clean, yeah.
Makes sense.
I was kind of thinking maybe when the guy went out in the woods with that girl, maybe she did bang him and then kill him, because they ended up killing the main boyfriend too after. But it wasn't like if you would have went into the woods and banged her, it wouldn't have been like a big ritual like the other one.
Yeah.
Right.
But maybe they originally brought them there to mate and then kill them, and they just disrespected them, so they had to kill them first. I don't know. So my third point my third word would be sound. And there are 2 points I really want to point out, which are, like, right in the beginning. When she calls her boyfriend after she finds out that her family's dead, when she cries, did you notice at the end of her cry there is a man's cry too?
No.
For some reason he did that, and I think it was just for effect, because obviously it didn't unravel in the story. But for some reason he did that, and it felt like it was kind of scary the way she cried. And another thing I want to point out with the sound was the score, especially when the opening credits were coming up. I thought that was really a really good part of the score. And even the opening credits themselves, they were kind of translucent, and you can see the snow going through the letters and shit. I thought those were points I was like writing down in the theater when that happened. I thought those were really cool.
Yeah, the sound was fucking insane. No, it was just always. I'm telling you, I don't know, man. This guy gives me a fucking boner. I love it. Like all of the sound of music, and
I
love
mean,
it.
Just the atmosphere, and like I love how it gets so overwhelming. Like at the end when she's crying, and all the women start crying with her, and like it just gets like louder and louder until like it's like drowning you out, right?
Oh yeah, when she sees him having sex with that girl. Like, is that the part you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
The part when they're all crying is when the barn's burning.
No, when she's like crying, and then like to comfort her.
Yeah. Some of the girls are around her.
But yeah, at the ending too. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so we'll enter our official pro and con stage.
Oh boy.
This is a free for all. So we'll do pros first, guys.
Oh man.
I gotta start.
Let's go.
I mean, guys, how about the opening 20 fucking minutes?
I was about to bring that up.
I mean, go ahead, Luke. Go. You could take it, man.
What a gut punch, right? Like,
Insane.
You can just feel the director, like, talking to the audience, like, oh, you guys forgot what I was capable of, right? No. Here you go. Like, he just...
Yeah, let me blow your fucking face off.
whips it out and is like, here you go. Let me just fucking rip your heart out. Like that shot where it goes from the parents to the sister with the hose on her mouth. Like my stomach just dropped. Like,
yeah.
I was like, holy fuck.
Now, did you know the parents were dead when she first called them?
No.
I wasn't sure.
I thought she was dead. I was like 75% sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
My girlfriend Melissa came up with a really good point. She said, imagine like the time it took for the girl, the main girl's sister, for her to put all of that together, right? With tying all of the hose and taping the floor, the bottom of the door shut and linking everything up. At least an hour probably. And the whole time she could have changed her mind. And she's just like, no, this is fucking happening. And I had no clue anything that horrific was going to happen. And I was fucking floored.
And the suffering she put herself through just to have that hose on her and just to like not take it off in the middle and puking all over the place. I mean, that's dedication.
Oh my God.
It's funny when we saw the trailer when we recorded last, and I thought she had a miscarriage or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought the secret was that she went through. It does give insight onto something happening to her. That's why she goes in the trailer.
Yeah.
But I had no clue like it was that bad. I mean, like I thought his sister killed herself. I'm like, okay, well, when the movie started, I'm like, oh well, his sister killed herself probably. But like, come on, that's like a 2 compared to like what we saw with like a 10, right?
I know.
Yeah. So anyway, whoever wants to go next, that was my biggest pro.
Jordan.
My biggest pro. This is a killer reviews show, so my biggest pro would be the kills. With the elders jumping off of the cliff, and the lady, her face smashed in when she first fell off, and then I was like twitching when the man fell off and he was still alive, and his leg was all snapped in half, and then they had to go in and fucking smash his face in, and then keep on smashing it even though it was like all smashed in already, and you see his eyeball like hanging out and shit. Oh man, those were awesome.
It was like, no. Everybody gets a turn. No matter how fucking flat his face is, you still get to go next, right?
It's like whack-a-mole.
Dude, I was watching that scene, and they didn't cut away at all. Like when the old lady first jumped, I was like, well, they're gonna cut away. No. And then when the old guy's on the ground, first guy comes up with a hammer. I'm like, they're not gonna show it. Hammer him. Second guy comes up. I'm like, they're not gonna show this one, no. And like four people just, and like what you're saying, Greg, they just leave the camera on, and you just get to watch these four people just bash their like.
When they were going up the hill and they show you the cliff,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is the whole fucking movie with me. Like, are they gonna really just fucking jump off of this in front of these 6 people that are new to the community? Like, with no telling them what's gonna happen. Like, what the fuck's gonna happen when these people see this person jump off the cliff? And it was like a very slow build, the music, and the dude's cutting his hand. And then they even show the cliff, and they don't quite show the body walk up yet, right? They give you like a good minute before they can see like the person walk up. And he walks up, and she's like, dude, she first. And you're like, is she really gonna fucking jump right now? I mean, like, that's how invested I was in. I mean, I was literally in the mindset, and I feel like Ari, I feel like he really, like, from the beginning of the movie, from when they went into that land, right? They really put us in their shoes with the twisted camera work, right, and the drugs, and like, I feel like we walked into that with these characters, and we feel like what these characters feel like. So when the person's so going to jump off, we're going, oh my fucking god! So we're with them the whole time. That's what I love too. Yeah, I mean, smashing those faces. I mean, when the lady hit her face on the rock and then kind of popped back up, and it was just red. I'm with Luke. I'm saying, I'm like, they're not going to show that.
Jordan, did you catch? So the night before that, they're like, "Oh, this is happening tomorrow," and they're all like, "Oh, what is that?" Like, the black guy knows, right?
Yeah, he knew.
Gives a grin. What a dick friend! Like, you're gonna watch these old people die, and he's just like, "Oh, ha, ha, ha."
Yeah, that was weird because I'm surprised you didn't know about the other stuff. If you knew about that.
Yeah.
Like, oh man.
What else, guys? I mean, I have some other stuff, but you guys go.
So a big pro for me, and this is what I liked about it, is do you guys ever have the thought that maybe as soon as they took mushrooms for the first time, nothing else that happened in this movie was real?
I was thinking that might have happened. Like, that was going to be the end.
Like, I'm not saying there's really what I think is so skilled about Ari Aster is the way he screws up the camera work and stuff. I think that's a valid interpretation, and part of me kind of thinks that. But I just and that just kind of leads into like when they're on drugs, everything is moving. Like, there's a flower on her hairpiece.
That was
my girlfriend leans over and she's like, do you see that? Do you know what I'm talking about, guys?
Well, yeah, everything's wavy. Like you see the plants like all wavy and shit.
But she's got the crown on. One of the flowers.
There's a red flower that has a black hole that keeps opening and closing.
Yeah.
And like, there's like the mountains are moving in the background, and just and that's when all the shit is starting to hit the fan. So and this kind of relates to like how gorgeous it is, but I love the atmosphere and how it builds up at the end, and like when they tell the boyfriend like, oh, drink this thing, like it'll be good for you, and like as soon as he drinks it, you're like, oh man, like you just landed yourself in a world of shit, dude.
I know, right? What else we got?
And they were taking drugs the whole time too, whether it was like the mushrooms or in tea form or something like that. They were constantly doing some sort of drug.
Well, I think that's what the community does. I think like they're all on fucking shrooms the whole time.
Yeah.
Hey, so after I saw the movie, right, I went nuts online, looked up a bunch of stuff. Supposedly, in the scene where they show, there's one scenario, the friend that is with the community that brought them from the States to there, the theory I read online was that he killed the main girl's parents and sister to lead her to go there. And supposedly, if you watch the scene where they show the parents dead, on the nightstand is a floral wreath. And what are the reasons? Keep in mind, I haven't seen the movie since I read that, so maybe it's not there. But if this dude's online is right, there's a floral, wreath on the nightstand. I mean, that's got to indicate that he killed her parents, so she would go to this event. To spark that decision. I don't know. I want to watch it again to know if that's true. Because why else would that fucking wreath be there?
Well, if you think about it, she was kind of predestined to be, I forget what it's called, the Night King or whatever.
The Night King.
The Night King.
Like, it seemed like he knew that she was going to be the Night King the whole time. So,
The May Queen.
You're still just going with it, the Night King.
I love it.
so that would make sense that he wanted her to take that role even before they went to Sweden.
Yeah. Yeah, because she could have gone anyway and even not became the Night King and still like became part of the community. Maybe that's what he wanted. Maybe he was in love with her.
Oh, he definitely was crushing on her.
Oh yeah, he
the
kissed
whole
her
time.
near the end too.
Yeah.
No, that's an interesting theory. I didn't think about that. I mean, I think that's possible.
Yeah, that surprised me too. I mean, it's if there actually is a wreath on the nightstand full of flowers, that's
And he would have typed that stuff in that the sister was typing in.
yeah. Yeah. Was that dude in the restaurant? He was when he was getting the phone calls from the girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm,
But that was it. But she hadn't heard from the sister for a very long time anyway.
that's
Yeah.
true.
So I'll cross out some stuff here. I have Art in the Village. Just gorgeous artwork. How about when they show the banner at some point, like halfway through, they show a banner and it's like it's almost like a film frame, squares, and it just like pans along through the whole banner.
Oh yeah,
And
with the hair tie.
There's ladies with their pussies broken and bleeding and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's the love potion. That's what happens to Christian in the movie.
Oh, so that's
Yeah,
that?
that was the banner of them cutting off their pubes and making a pie out of it.
Oh.
Hypnotizing the guy and banging him and getting a baby out of it.
I mean, I haven't had hair pie in fucking weeks, man. I need to get back on that. I have Will Poulter, who is the comedy guy in this one. He's tall. He was in He was in Balderbash or whatever.
Yeah.
The guy from We're the Millers?
Yeah, the guy from We're the Millers.
Yeah.
The original Pennywise.
What'd you just say?
He was supposed to be Pennywise before Sarsgaard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was funny as shit.
He was spot on, man. I thought he was hilarious.
Yeah, the last time we saw him, like the girl came up and she says, I forget what she says. She says, "Come with me" or something like that. And he said, "I'm going to go with her." And then he just goes. But she says something funnier.
She says, "Come on, I'll show you." And he's like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess she'll show me.
I'm going to go. She's going to show me.
Oh man. Something I wanted to point out, and I can't claim full credit for this, but I saw on Twitter from Bloody Disgusting, they just mentioned the words Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Midsommar. So I was keeping an eye out, and I think there's two scenes that are direct references to Texas Chainsaw in this movie. Did you guys catch those?
No.
No.
Well, when the black guy gets clubbed, right?
Oh, yeah,
By the
yeah. And he's
skin
like
wearing guy.
spasming and stuff.
That's basically the same thing as in Texas Chainsaw when the first guy, gets clubbed by Leatherface.
Oh, yeah.
And like,
yeah, and they're wearing the guy's face as a mask.
Yeah, that scene actually was freaky. I gotta say, in the theater, that was because it was like what gets me is like he sees in the mirror, right, the guy behind him. And you're like, who the fuck is that? And then like he gets closer and like, oh man. But then later when the Christian runs into the chicken coop and finds the guy all strung out, that's just like the scene and the chickens are there. That's just like in Texas Chainsaw when the one chick like falls into the study or whatever and there's like the chicken and the feathers and shit.
Yeah. Well, that guy was still alive too. You can see his lungs going in and out.
Oh my god.
That was cool.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool how I mean it's got to be, right? Like it's got to be the director like tipping his hat to
for me, I think the first one's more plausible. The second one is not even a dead body when she falls into the chicken feathers. You know what I mean?
I can definitely see the first one with the
The
dead
first
mask
one.
and the clubbing.
If the first one's like shot for shot, like I don't know. I mean,
there's a lot of mirror effects in this movie too. Like a lot of shots of you see the people and the people they're talking to are reflecting off the mirror and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Very Poltergeist 3.
Did you guys have any more stuff before I do a couple?
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
I feel like, first of all, there weren't any really jump scares. Like, for the most part, there weren't, like, the 10-minute build-ups to, like, some kind of... but I really liked the flow of the movie. I was really worried, like, a lot of times in movies, there's, like, at least a half an hour of, like, not much happening. And, like, Paranormal Activity is, like, just famous for this in my mind, where they're always, the first half hour is always just, like, the shaky camera. Like, hey, honey, you forgot to buy the eggs? Well, hey, boys, why are you supposed to buy the eggs? But I want a fucking omelet. Like, the kid comes in with, broken truck, whatever. Oh, I fucking fixed the truck now. You fix the truck. It's like nothing happens for like a half an hour, right? And then half an hour in, like a fucking curtain moves, and there's 10 more minutes of like, ugh! Like this one, I felt like was really interesting. Like from the fucking first shot. I mean, I thought it dragged, which I'll get into later. Ooh. But like at least like scene by scene, it was like either funny or uncomfortable or scary or beautiful or great camera work. There was something that kept me like interested. Almost the whole movie, which was so refreshing not to fucking hear dumb bullshit in horror movies for the first bit of the movie. So I really appreciated that.
Like I said before, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. There was, like you were saying, there's always something to keep me interested in the movie, and I prefer like the slower pacing over the MTV style pacing. So. Yeah, I thought that was a lot more entertaining doing it like that than like like Saw or something.
Right. I mean, this dude's a fucking filmmaker. You know what I'm saying? People can make movies, and for me, a film is a film and a movie's a movie. And like Terminator Salvation's a movie for me. I don't know. It's like, but like this is a fucking film. House of Devil's a film, right? Prisoner, I mentioned twice. Whatever, it's a film. I just like fucking really well thought out. Like Quentin Tarantino makes films, right? Like really cool, well thought out movies. My daughter's like, "Why are you standing? I'm trying to be healthy. Go back to that."
I don't know. Didn't you want the half hour of like, "Oh, John, did you get the boots? Oh, I left my boots back there. Let me get the boots." You know. Like...
You didn't buy the shoelaces for the boots, John. Yeah. So flow, always interesting. No jumps. Yeah, guys, we've wrapped up my list of positives. So you guys go. Anything left?
Well, that was a tribute to the writing too. Ari Aster, he writes all of his movies that he directs, and you always get a better movie when the writer is directing as well. Yeah. So he tightens everything up. A lot of times, like you'll get, like you were mentioning, Ty West, or the guy who did Dragged Across Concrete. You'll get super drawn out, like too drawn out, but this guy keeps himself in check.
Yeah.
We have to talk about the sex scene. Did you
wild, right?
Like do you guys think it was supposed to be funny?
No, I didn't.
Because my theater was like cracking up at the expressions on the guy's face when like the old lady just leans down on him.
Yeah, but dude, that guy was beyond tripping. That guy was on a different planet.
Oh yeah, he was like tripping out of his mind. But
I can see why people would laugh at that. I think the director would be happy either way because it was fucking weird as shit, right? But I think it was supposed to be really fucked up.
Well, I'd be the same way if that was happening. I'd be pretty weirded out when.
That dude lasted forever too, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's got a big audience. He was probably nervous.
A big audience. He's completely fucked up. She's like, "Dude, will you fucking finish?"
Yeah, I know, right? She's like, just do it. Like,
well, you got naked old ladies all over the place. You gotta keep your focus in. Otherwise,
You know what the big downfall is? Like, who's gonna know if that's gonna get that in one shot anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that sure of thing, like one time.
I guess they were relying on all the shit they gave them, like that team.
Oh well, hold up a sec. These people are all taking their words from like the inbred. They're taking orders from the inbred mentally challenged dude.
Oh, Patrick from Southie.
Dude, they got me the whole movie. I was like, that fucking kid's gonna do something. He didn't do anything.
Me too. What I thought was when the guy, who was it? Christian, when he runs in the chicken coop towards the end naked, I thought he was going to run into Patrick from Southie. And by the way, listeners, we're referring to the inbred creature. But his real name is Patrick from Southie. I thought he was going to close the chicken coop, and Patrick was going to just literally rape the shit out of him.
Oh, no.
I would have fucking bet all my fucking chips. Boom, he's going to just get raped and killed by Patrick.
I thought you were going to say he was going to walk in on Patrick jerking it.
No, I thought he was done. I'm most disappointed that Patrick didn't do too much more.
I know. I was just going to say, I wish he was in it a little more.
Yeah.
Because there's like one random shot of him at the beginning. Well, see, what I thought from the trailers, because Pat was in the trailers, right? But he had blonde hair. I thought that was going to be the main girl that they
I did too.
mutilated and diseased and stuff. So the whole movie, I was waiting for something bad to happen. Related, when she was crowned and they were like, oh, get in this carriage with the flames and stuff. Did you guys think they're going to go full Wicker Man?
No, I didn't.
I was expecting her to get burned there.
Sorry, which one, Luke?
After the main chick, Danny, gets crowned, I thought they were going to do the Wicker Man.
I thought she was going to get killed.
Yeah.
I actually thought she was pretty safe. Like she had that background of everybody dying, and these people are thinking, her whole family's gone. If we kill off her friends, we can snag this girl, and she could be one of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and wasn't she just like a pleasure to watch? Like really pretty,
Yeah.
Good actress, interesting, and she had always flowers and.
Yeah, she did amazing. But just her scream. Somehow this director is able to get like Toni Collette in Hereditary, and now this chick. Just those screams of like pure like sadness out of people. Someone was like, "What?"
Like 4 or 5 times in a movie too. That horrible scream that she does.
I saw someone on Twitter saying like, "What does he tell these people to make them do that?"
He probably tells them a story about like him murdering his dog and like ripping off his limbs and stuff like that. He probably gives them something really bad.
Guys, anything else for positives you want to touch upon?
That's all I got. Gorgeous movie.
Yeah, I think.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's talk about some negative stuff. Luke, what did you mention like an hour ago? Oh yeah, like inconsistency or like
Yeah. So even related to this, and this isn't really a ding on the movie, but like so the movie was building, and then the first moment of real horror, I think, is when the black guy gets killed. Like that's the first direct, I believe, Jordan. Correct me if I'm...
Once they get into Sweden, it's the old people.
Well, that's just a ritual. But the black guy getting killed, like you were saying, Greg, like the British people disappear, but you're like, well, maybe they did go to the train station,
right?
But it's and then like the other guy walks off with the chick, but it's not until the black guy gets killed that's the first time you see the cult actually do like actively kill people. So in the theater, I was like, oh man, here we go, like this is it, like you know the last 20 minutes of Hereditary or whatever when like it just goes full on like horror.
Right.
I was like, oh shit, that's what the last hour of this movie is going to be. Like, I thought like these guys are fucked. But then like the next day it just cuts to like the dance scene, sex scene. And honestly, I think the sex scene did go on a little long for me. I was so hyped up. I was so on the edge of my seat. And this is actually a credit to the director because when they're dancing, the movie actually fooled me a little bit. And I was like, oh, it's not so bad. Like, this is fun. Like, this is... But I would call that a little bit of a pacing problem for me. But, like, I got all hyped up and then...
Yeah, I actually want to jump in here because I feel the same way. I don't want to lose my thought. By the way, the black guy is William Jackson Harper. His name's Josh. So I thought he would do the service of giving his name.
Oh.
It's Josh. So, dude, it's funny. I feel the same way as you. I couldn't like pin it down. But I feel like Jordan said like fucking 10 times. He was on the edge of his seat. So was I. And I was like, oh, what's going on? What's fucking going to happen? And then Josh gets killed. And I'm like, oh, boy, fucking shit's going down, baby. And then it kind of like went back down. And at some point, I want to say like an hour and 45 minutes in, I feel like I wasn't on the edge of my seat. I kind of felt like, okay, I'm watching a movie, grab some popcorn or something. Like, I just kind of felt like it was a little slow, and I couldn't quite pin that down. But I think maybe that may be where it started for me, because that's where I thought things were gonna just boom, like pick up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't. And there was very much, sex scenes like a half an hour on and off, dancing for like honestly, probably 20 minutes, whatever. But I did feel like there was a lot of like, trippy dancing and spinning and lights flashing and fucking. So I agree with you, man. I feel like at some point it did go down like a little bit, the pacing.
Well, doesn't House of the Devil do the same thing? Like halfway through the movie, her best friend goes to see her, and she's going to see her, and she parks off to the side, and then the pizza guy comes up and like shoots her in the head, and then we got another half hour until something bad happens again. I mean, I think I wasn't thinking about that when I was watching Midsommar. I think I was pretty engrossed into the movie. I didn't really have any like qualms about it, like pacing wise. The deaths were too gapped and stuff like that. I think everything was just right.
Well, to kind of counter my own negative a little bit, what I think this director really excels at is making one of the scariest parts for me is making the grotesque the normal for these people. Like Hereditary, what freaked me out is like at the end, right? Like they have like rotting corpses, right? Like they got the girl's head on the statue and all. But like to these cultists, that's just like that's the greatest thing in the world, right? Like this grotesque, fucked up thing. So what I think what the director did so great is he distracted us with that half hour of like dancing and sex and stuff, and you're kind of put on ease, right? Because you're like, well, we're not gonna kill them while they're dancing, and you're not gonna kill them while they're fucking. And then the guy runs out of the house. He finally wises up, and there's just a fucking like leg sticking out of the ground, right? He runs into the chicken coop and sees the guy's corpse and stuff. And it's just like all these cultists are like totally happy and living their life. And they're just like, oh yeah. And we mutilate people, right? Like, and that's just normal. And that is that's a big part of the horror, right? And so I think that part was done really well.
Did you think when they were dancing, did you think they were going to dance until everybody died except for one person? Like she said in the story?
Not for me.
No, I didn't think anyone would die.
Okay.
Do you guys? Here's a question. I see a lot of debate about this online. Do you guys think they deliberately let her win in the dance-in? Like they were trying.
I thought that too. That's a good question, man.
That would make sense since we kind of think that she was predestined to be the Night King.
I just noticed while we're talking. I think maybe the lull in the movie came when I found out that they were 100% like killers, bad people. Because I mean, like, it's like Jordan's saying about like, oh, I'm sorry, maybe it was you, Lucas, but like when you guys were saying how like these people are happy and it's okay, everything's fine. I think it was you, Luke. Like everything's fine. I mean, so was I. I'm like, well, maybe like they are okay. They're just fucking really weird. I mean, like. As the movie goes, my level of not trusting these fucking maniacs is like higher and higher. And it was just at the breaking point when Josh got killed. I was like, oh, okay. So like, yeah, okay. So they're 100% bad people. And I think maybe that's where my lull happened because there wasn't that tension of not being sure the whole movie. Right. So that to me, that the excitement of not knowing was gone.
Well, it was still there for me. Like I was saying, like when Josh got killed, I was like I was saying, and I guess this is a negative. This is a con. Is I was hoping there was more to it than just the whole cult is evil and in on it. So like when Josh got killed, I was like, okay, the mentally challenged kid is a psycho, right? And like, how's the cult gonna deal with this? Because they're all nice, but no. Ultimately, it turned out everyone was in on it. I guess.
So what did they stuff the people with? Was it like hay? At the end, when like they stuffed certain people with certain things, but a
Yeah.
couple of them, it looked like they were stuffed with hay.
They had flowers, right, sticking out of them. I thought.
I think one person had sticks sticking out of them.
That's a really big question for me. By the way, my girlfriend just said it was the Mayflower. Is the May Queen, the Night King
The
is
Plymouths? The Pilgrims are there?
Oh, the Night King and the Maid Queen. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so if they mate, we had the ultimate baby. But when they were putting the bodies in the barn, and I missed something because, like, you had women picking up what I thought was like a full-grown man, like it was a doll, like just kind of like throwing it around. So
Yeah, it was just the skin of the person,
it was just the skin. That's what it was.
and they were
that's
stuffed
what I was-
with certain things.
I thought it was implied the meat and the pies was. That's just the feeling I
Those
got
people.
is the meat pies were the people, but maybe I could be wrong there. Because like you were saying, it did look like they were stuffed with hay or something at the end.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't look like real people, and I was like, how can these fucking filmmakers not realize that looks so fucking stupid and not think it's so fake? But clearly, I'm the dumb one because I missed something. So it's not the actual body of the person.
No, it's just their exoskeleton, their skin.
All right, another thing to clear up with you guys. So my girlfriend Melissa insists that there were 9 sacrifices made to the gods.
I counted 7.
We both counted 7. If you don't include the old people jumping off the cliff,
Yeah.
there's 7. If you include them, there's 9. She thinks, and she's right here off camera, she's too shy to come on camera. She's fucking dying to hear you guys' thoughts on this. Because we fought for half an hour after the fucking movie about this. She's saying the dude who was hosting the whole sacrifice event said, we made 9 sacrifices. You should be happy now. And we only counted 7. So what do you guys think? Did you hear 9 or 7?
I heard 9.
Oh, it
You
was
heard
9.
Okay, so we're counting the 7 people in the barn and the 2 old people that jumped off the cliff.
Yes.
I wasn't counting the 2 old people, but that would make sense because there's nobody else.
Well, at the end they had like 2 they looked
Yeah,
like porcelain busts or something, right? And like one had like trees growing out of it and one had fruit in it, I think, Jordan. Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be the old people. And everyone else was just like a body.
Well, if you think about who got killed, it was the girl's boyfriend, the 2 London people, Josh, We're the Millers, the 2 old people, and the 2 people that volunteered. So that would be 9.
Wait, do that again? I'm sorry.
Okay, you got boyfriend, Josh, We're the Millers, 2 old people, 2 people who volunteered, and the 2 London people.
The 2 what?
London people. The 2 people from London.
So you have 9 there? Are you fucking happy? Yeah, but it doesn't matter. He didn't say these are the people in the barn. He said these are 9 sacrifices.
I get what she's saying, though. I thought there should have been 9 bodies in the barn.
Well, this goes back to it feels a little scattered, right? Like, so the jump on that, they say we only do this every 90 years. But what do you guys? So my take on that is they only do the 9 sacrifices every 90 years, but every summer they do the whole like May Queen and the old people kill themselves.
Yes.
It's my interpretation.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't have been part of that sacrifice. There should have been 2 other people.
Yeah, I mean, they're not really sacrificing because the people killed themselves. I mean, I don't know. Like,
I was trying to figure out who the 4, because they said 4 people of our own will be sacrificed. And I was trying to figure out the other 2, because the 2 that volunteered, and it had to be the old people.
yeah. Yeah, okay. So we all agree that they said 9, but there's 7 in the barn, right? Or are you guys saying there's 9 in the barn?
I counted 7.
No, there's 7 bodies in the barn,
There's 7
but
in
they're
the barn.
counting
Okay.
the old people.
Okay, yeah.
But that's a little dumb because like I didn't think the old people were sacrifices. That's just what everybody does, right?
Yeah,
Right,
that's like a regular thing. for them. That's not a 90-year deal.
It's like, yeah, I mean, but there's got to be like, I want to watch it again and kind of understand that, because that must have been explained somewhere. I mean, but there's three of us that are kind of confused about it, you know. But it's, I mean, I want this. I don't want any fucking flaws in this movie. I don't want any fucking hole. Besides the girl that got banged for the baby. And any other negatives? It's funny. I had bodies in barn looked fake. I swear to fucking God. Bodies in barn looked fake. I was like, there's got to be something I'm missing, and there was.
Well, the director calls this a dark fairy tale, and I think it's best to probably, because like I'm the type of guy who I'm like, well, you know, didn't these guys tell people they were going to Sweden, and like, how are they going to explain this one away, you know? But like, that's just like at the end of Hereditary, I walked in being like, so they're going to send the kid back to high school, or? And you can't do that, right? Like, you just got to go with it.
Well, this one didn't feel like a fairy tale. This felt like everything in this movie could have happened.
That's what the director says. He calls it a dark fairy tale.
Yeah, I heard him say that too. But you're right.
I mean, if Hereditary, you know, the stuff at the end couldn't have happened in real life.
That's true. That's true.
Dude, how about that old dude jump off the fucking cliff and he's still alive, and you're going, oh my God!
I know. I was.
No.
He jumped off. I was like, oh, you screwed up, dude.
And they had a hammer all ready for him, too.
I got it, guys.
All right, bring out the hammer.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
All right, any other negatives here?
I have 0 negatives.
In general?
In general.
Yeah, I had literally like a half of one, which was the pacing. I
mean, I get where they were going with the bear suit at the end, but I'm not going to lie. I thought it looked a little silly.
Yeah.
But like, I think it was cool. I think it was a cool idea. But and there's one.
The May Queen of Manchester.
Oh, hello.
I'm standing on the couch.
Bye, May Queen. You smell good. Way too much for you there.
There's one shot at the end, Jordan. You remember this? Where like you can see the bear in the barn, and the it's on fire behind him, but like in the foreground is Danny. You know what I'm talking about? Like it was like a 3-layered shot, and I just thought that was like so impressive.
There's a lot of precision in every single shot, like where everything's placed, the sound, the cinematography, everything is exactly the way Ari Aster wants it to be.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it.
It's cool too when there's like a lot of people in a wide shot. They'll have the focus on the people in the background, and then as they're talking, zoom in, and then put the focus in the foreground on like Danny, and then maybe go back and put the focus on. Like it's just, dude, I got a fucking technical boner when I watch this movie with the sound and the camera work and the lighting. And
I was just saying, like the dinner scenes and like the dance, like those that were all one shot. I was like, how hard must that have been to like get all those people to coordinate and like, and the dancing too. Like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, that must have took a while just to choreograph the dance.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, man. Like the shots over the head of the table, so everybody picks up the knives and does the wave down the table and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, guys. I feel like I wanted to mention a couple more things, but then I forgot.
What?
I don't know. I guess they weren't that important. I don't know. So we liked it.
Yeah, it was half decent.
Yeah, it was no Child's Play, but
dude, Child's Play has a fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Fucking, I shit you not.
Was that like 61 or something?
Yeah, maybe, but it was fresh. So, you guys, if you know, fine, but if you don't, how much do you think this movie grossed opening from Wednesday, right before July 4th. So that would be, let me do the math. July 4th, Thursday, Wednesday, 3rd?
Yes.
So like a 5-day gross.
Yeah, 5-day gross. What would you say it made?
I'm gonna go with 10 million.
I think I know, but I might have misread. I think it did like 8 million, something like that.
Oh, you guys are good. I thought it would pull like 30 million.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I wish.
I really thought, just based on his last movie, and yeah, it was like 10.9 million.
Yeah, his next one, if he gets a lot of buzz from this one, his next one will be like the Us to Jordan Peele's Get Out.
Right.
But that shocks the hell out of me because Hereditary made a good amount of money, if I recall correctly.
Did it?
I think.
Well, that's more of a traditional jump scare movie, though, and this is like a really bonkers like cult movie.
I just figured because they put his name like before, like the trailer starts. It's blah blah blah. Ari. I still forget his name, which I should. I'm on William Jackson Harper's page.
Hereditary made 13 million opening weekend. Okay, so it's not that far.
Yeah.
Far down.
I mean, he doesn't have a name like Jordan Peele because Jordan Peele was already famous before he started making movies.
He was?
Yeah, he was on Mad TV and Key and Peele.
Oh, okay.
He's a big comedy guy before he started horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I want to touch upon. Do you guys want to talk at all about like the theme of the movie? Because I was reading some articles and stuff, and they were saying that like the reason Danny accepted this is because she is what's called a codependent. So she needs somebody. She needs to be with somebody to exist. Mm-hmm. So if you notice, like her boyfriend, like the whole beginning of the movie, she's like begging to be with him. And he's like, I'm gonna leave. She's like, no, please don't leave. Just hang out, just be with me, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like she always needs that. She needs something to latch onto to exist. Because she's not a very strong person. So this new family is basically like her new family. And even it is like she needs them just to be who she is, as part of who she is. And that's why she accepts their craziness, and that's her new family.
And that guy probably knew it too. That guy who led them probably knew it, and he knew like this is making more sense now. If he killed the sister and the parents.
Oh, I forgot to mention this. I know. Sorry, go ahead, Jordan.
No, go ahead.
I noticed this at the beginning of the movie when they first walk through like the sun arch, right? And they're getting greeted. The dude says like, welcome, welcome. But to Danny, he says, welcome home. And she's the only one.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I just remembered to bring that up. So they definitely were like gunning for her from the very start.
Yeah, and they keep her. She's part of the family now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting the idea that if she didn't take those mushrooms right in the beginning, I mean, that would have been the end of the movie right there. I think those mushrooms have more to do with the plot than what we initially think, because they make it a whole thing where she has to take them right away with them. So I got that impression a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think the theme of the film is pretty. Like she's accepting her family. Like, it is a happy ending, right? Like, to some extent.
Yeah, I mean, to some degree, it's what's cool with the movie is I really found myself accepting these people's way. Like, it's fucked up, but like that's just what they know, and they really believe that to make sacrifice. I mean, it's the Wicker Man. It's the Wicker Man.
Yeah.
I love it. Really is. I mean, I guess you could say any movie that has sacrificing to gods for crops and health and all this stuff is the Wicker Man. But I mean, the burning doesn't fucking help either. But I just feel like I don't know, like it's fucked up, but like cultures do fucked up things. I mean, but what's fucked up to me is not them and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Like, they might think it's weird that we let old people live in nursing homes until they literally just...
they brought that up, I think.
Yeah, they did.
And the thing is, with her now, they won't have to, during her lifetime, go through that again.
Yeah.
If strangers come in, they'll just be coming in to mate with the people that live there, not to die. And the only people that will die are 72-year-olds.
Yeah. And she can have pew pipes like every other day.
Oh yeah.
That's the
Lucky
delicate.
girl.
Dude, did you see the art on the walls where they sleep though? How could you go to sleep? There's like people getting gutted and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a lot of symbols in the art on the walls with like foreshadowing, and
mhm.
their clothing has symbols, and it's like if you read just look, read up on it or watch YouTube, it explains a lot of that.
It definitely warrants 2 or 3 more watches.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of want to go back there. I tell you, like when this movie ended, I was like, we were having conversations about it. I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I kind of like, there's like those fucking maniacs out in the woods. I want to go visit them again. Like I love the idea that they're just there and
Mhm.
fucking doing their shit, and that's how strong the world was to me. Like how real it was, the sound, everything, and like I just loved it.
Mhm.
It's just a really unique movie. So anyway, yeah, I mean, so let's say if we were to rate this, I don't know. I'm just gonna say a 4 out of 4 for me. Like, there's no perfect film, but like all the shit I see, like
Mhm.
I just really, I mean, can see about going to a movie with as high expectations as you ever had. For me, that's where I was. And I just walked out like, wow, I got what the fuck I came for. So I'm gonna give it just whatever, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, or 4 out of 4, whatever. That's how happy I was.
Yeah, it's hard to find any flaws in it, so I'm trying to think of an excuse to give it any less than a perfect grade, but I can't.
Well, I will be the dissenting voice.
All right, we'll see you next week.
All right,
And
man,
I guess
yeah,
this will
have a
be
good
my
one, buddy.
last episode. But no, it's the next level. So the thing is, I'm comparing it to Hereditary, and it's like I put up Fritz's review. Hereditary was just so well crafted every single step of the way, and like what I talked about, this movie, it was more visually stunning, but also the plot felt just a little more scattered for me. But it's definitely like a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, no, it's a fair point, though, man.
9 out of 10, something like that.
Yeah.
But
I would say Hereditary is more entertaining.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. It gives, like, if you go to the theme park and like that has all the roller coasters, Hereditary, right?
Yeah.
The other one has like a very nice day of having some mediocre rides, ups and downs, but you're chilling, having a good time. Hereditary is more like woo, right? It has more of like the.
Yeah.
It's like Hershey Park.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It has more of the punches, right? Like you came here to see somebody fucking covered in ants and burning, and that's what you get, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know what you mean by that. It's also 2.5 hours, right? I don't think Hereditary was anywhere near that, was it? Maybe 2.
Yeah, it's probably like around 2.
15 or something.
Hour and 50.
For me, it flew by Midsommar, though. I didn't feel that at all. Well, maybe during.
No, I didn't feel the 2.5. I didn't feel that. It was like an hour in, and I knew it, or 2 hours in. I knew it was 2 hours in, and there's so much to go left. So I was excited because, wow, I still have another half hour of this.
Yeah.
So happy.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's it.
That's it. Oh man.
I think we talked the fuck out of that.
We got like an hour and a half.
Wow.
Jesus.
That's crazy for just one movie. I don't know. I mean,
it's a testament to the quality filmmaking.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It really is.
Hey now, Child's Play got a solid 5 minutes.
Did it get 5 minutes? I think I clocked it at 4.5.
I was posting the article for that last episode we did, like the 2-hour episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to put Game of Thrones in there because I figured like I would cut out our Game of Thrones talk and make like another post about Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
So I had Chucky in there as like the representation of the whole 2-hour episode. I'm like, really? Like we're doing that? But then I think I put Game of Thrones in later. Yeah. I think I ended up putting Game of Thrones in. All right, guys, let's cut this off because we want to have this mostly be about Midsommar.
Go check it out. If you guys haven't seen it out there, go check it out. Go see it.
Oh yeah, see it in the theater. Support it.
Yeah, support more indie horror.
Yeah,
and
that's cool. That's cool that we're all on kind of the same page about it. All right, so check out killeries.com. There's tons of content there right now. Look for the big under construction, fucking logos. All right, guys, that was a true pleasure. So, everybody, thanks for watching, and smash that like button.
Like and subscribe.
Oh my God!
Like and subscribe. All right,
Ring the bell.
yeah, ding that bell.
See you
Later.
guys.